I used to love the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from the 80s and 90s. What's not to love about 4 rad turtle dudes who love pizza? And that's why I decided to finally give the 2012 adaptation a shot. Teenagers are horny as hell, and Mutant Ninja Turtles are no exception. I'm Whitney Van Lanningham, and these are the dirtiest dirty jokes in TMNT. Number 8. When Lord Vrinagath Dreg tries to introduce himself in the same long-winded way as Khaleesi, Mother of Dragons, first of her name, blah 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 blah, we get it. Ralph is not having any of it.
Could you hang on a second? I just got a phone call here from someone named I don't give a flying. That's great!
Yeah, the next word out of Ralph's mouth was definitely gonna be the one that my producers don't let me say anymore. Number 7. After Donnie creates Metalhead, Metalhead gets brainwashed by the Krang to be evil. When Donatello faces down the very thing he invented, he says this to Metalhead.
It's called your mother wears the boots that are made for combat!
In case you weren't alive during World War II, prostitutes that boinked soldiers would often wear army boots around the base. Basically, Donnie calls Metalhead's mom a hooker. It's actually a pretty sick burn for a turtle. Homeboy must have been paying attention in history class. Number 6. In this episode, the boys discover Dimension X. Leatherhead has been stealthily living in Dimension X for months, spying on the Krang, but unfortunately they've managed to capture him. The Krang begin torturing Leatherhead for sabotaging their mission, and that's when this conversation happens.
No longer will he be an irritant to our dorsal regions.
I think the freak you're looking for is paid in the ass.
I'm no super spy myself, but I'm 1000% sure that Leatherhead was about to say pain in the ass. Number 5. In the aftermath of the Krang battle at the end of Season 2, the Turtles, April, and Casey are hiding out at a farmhouse upstate. When Rolf disappears into the woods, the gang splits up with April and Casey going one way and Donnie and Mikey going the other. Of course, Donnie gets super jealous that Casey has all that alone time in the forest with April and says this. We've all seen slasher films, right? There's nothing that makes teens hornier than being alone in the dark, scary woods. It's like at least the 3rd coolest place to boink someone when you're still living at your mom's house and can't please your woman under her roof. Number 4. After the Triceragons swallow the Earth in a black hole, the Turtles are sent back in time 6 months by a robot cyborg to try to change the way things went down. But when the gang suits up for battle, April's costume looks a little too much like her super sexy one from the 80s.
You're looking good, Red.
Okay, you guys are creeping me out.
Time's up, Turtles! You can't just be staring at your coworkers' titties. It's super weird, and it's illegal. Number 3. What's a bored Ninja Turtle to do? When Mikey can't stand to watch another episode of Krognard alone, he tries asking his friends to hang out with him. That's when he stumbles upon Raph in a compromising position.
Mikey, get out! Out!
Yeah, Raph was definitely jerking off. Action figures, my Aunt Fanny. There's no action figure out here who makes that squeaky, squeaky, squeaky sound of making love to yourself. Number 2. Okay, this is obviously my favorite episode in the entire series because Pugtaro kicks major ass in the forest with the boys. But other than that, there's a super dirty part where the Tanuki are trying to save the Turtles and Usagi. These little critters reach down their pants and pull out a parachute to save our guys from falling to their death. The only problem? Those are not parachutes. According to Japanese folklore, Tanuki are these cute little raccoon dog critters who are known for their magical shape-shifting powers. The other thing that they're most known for is having giant scrotums. If you aren't catching my drift, those parachute packs are actually ball sacks. Gross. Number 1. When the boys go deep sea diving in Donnie's homemade submarine, I bet they never guessed that sea monsters could be so sexy. After failing to outrun the sea monster, it catches up to them. But instead of destroying their ship and devouring the turtles, this happens. Okay, so that's just an outright sex joke. That sea monster was using that ship like how my dog Pugsley uses his favorite stuffed animal. He's humping Donatello's underwater invention harder than a 7th grade boy at a middle school dance. But the cherry on top is when Mikey makes that sweet little BDSM reference.
Hey, we're not that kind of sub.
When I was a Teenage Mutant Ninja, the craziest thing my friends talked about was 69ing. Teenagers nowadays are getting into that dom sub lifestyle and eating each other's buttholes for a snack. The Turtles used to be just regular horny teens, but now they're going all 50 Shades of Grey on a sea monster. The times they are changing, man. Time to trade in your eye masks for ball gags. These are the dirtiest dirty jokes that I could find in the 2012 TMNT reboot, but I want to know which ones I missed in the comments. Can't get enough dirty jokes? Click over to the left of my face and it'll be like a giant marathon of Saturday mornings. Except, you still have to go to school and work and stuff.